It's TAYZ Take where the stories shine. Big ideas, let's make them mine.
Hey there and welcome to TAYZ Take, a show with a guy that named his dog Elon and is now on an epic quest to reclaim his once good name. When I was younger, my mom always told me, if you see something, say something. So me and Elon, we're gonna start saying something. And today, unfortunately, we have to talk about the only guy that's almost as manic as his dad, and that is Don Jr., who is clearly
the cocaine addict who happens to be the son of the president.
Break it down. He claims that transgender people are the most violent per capita, that the Minnesota shooter, who is a confirmed Trump supporter, is a secret leftist, and promotes a $499 phone that doesn't exist yet with Daddy Trump's gold branding all over it. Doing all of this while blinking like he's buffering, but I think we all know what he's on. First, he said that transgenders are the most violent people per capita in America, which is wrong and disgusting.
It's like the radical transgender movement is per capita the most violent, domestic terror threat, if not in America, probably the entire world per capita, because you have all these shooters and murderers or attempted murderers, in such a tiny population of a country, and yet they can't. They're beyond reproach, Benny. If this was any other group, you see it.
Which is false and made up. And also, hey Bozo, here's a fact that's actually true. Trans people are more likely to be targeted by violent attacks, not the other way around. Also, why it's just so messed up that he would lie like this and blame it on transgenders that are violent. Because the suspect was known to have said this. He said there's people, especially in America, they don't know what sex they are, he said. They don't know their sexual orientation, they're confused. The enemy has gotten so far into their mind and their soul. So the fact that he is trying to just gaslight and flip it is just so cope, and it's disgusting, frankly. Maybe you should focus on the people that tried to hang the vice president on January 6th.
They're beyond reproach, Benny.
And then Don comes out and blames a lunatic on the left for the shootings in Minnesota, which would be really shocking if the shooter's roommate didn't already confirm that he was in fact a Trump supporter, voted for Trump, and would be insulted if he knew he was being called a Democrat. So, lovely.
You saw it the other day with the despicable shootings in Minnesota. They're sitting there, oh, please be a MAGA guy. Please be a MAGA guy. Oh, it happens to be a Tim Walz appointee in his own state. He happened to go after a Democrat legislator, but it seems like he went after a Democratic legislator because she voted against Democrat Party policy, which was the unabashed, unlimited health care funding for illegal immigrants. She actually had a common sense approach, which is just to say, hey, let's give American taxpayer dollars to Americans, not to illegals. Let's not bankrupt our healthcare system, bankrupt our coffers. I understand that's incredibly popular with the Democrat Party. They have to give these things to illegals because no one else is voting for them anymore. So they want to stack these cities, they want to stack these voter rolls, they want to influence the census so they get more votes, and they can push their asinine policies that have failed America. But the amount of rhetoric saying that this is going to be a MAGA guy, he's literally a Tim Walz appointee in Minnesota. I have a feeling that leftist Tim Walz isn't exactly appointing conservatives. Apparently he had the No Kings flyer in his thing, but he went after someone that didn't just blindly follow Democrat radical leftist dogma and actually voted in something that makes sense for the people who are footing the bill of these policies and these plans. So it's scary stuff, but it seems to all be coming from the left.
Wrong. I mean, come on, that's like saying my dog is a Democrat because he's registered at PetSmart. It makes no sense. Just because you're appointed to a workforce in the government doesn't give you any party affiliation, so it's just cope. Here it is from his roommate himself.
You like Trump? I like Trump. You like Trump? I like Trump. Nobody's happy with the government. Everybody's happy at this. Not happy what this politician does or that politician does, but you don't go on a shooting spree.
Then goes on and grifts and tries to sell you a $500 gold Trump phone with his name and Daddy's name all over it, which doesn't exist yet, but there's pictures.
Morning, a brand new Trump device made here in the United States of America. St. Louis. Why did you pick St. Louis, Don?
Well, listen. We're going to be having call centers for Trump Mobile in St. Louis. So we're keeping our data onshore. We're going to be manufacturing the phones. Again, you can keep your existing phone, obviously, if you want to. But if you want, American hardware built by Americans here in America, without the potential, let's call it, backdoor into the hardware that some of our adversaries may have installed in there. It's really about everything we're doing, Benny. You know that, it's America first, making sure our things are as secure as they can, create value for people in America, create jobs for Americans. We're just excited about it.
It's a beautiful thing. I want the gold version. You have to have the gold. I mean, it's like, listen, you get your Trump sneakers.
Should there be another version even? I mean, it's just gold, right?
It's a beautiful gold brick. They said it couldn't be done. Was this extremely difficult, Don, to set this up?
It's always hard, but so are so many of the other things that we do. We've talked about this a lot, Benny. I've been fighting sort of for this parallel economy forever. We did it with True Social when we got thrown off of and deplatformed off of the social media platforms. We didn't just crawl in a corner and suck our thumb crying for mommy. We fought back and we built something new. We innovated.
And this phone, it's Android, but it doesn't have any processor listed for it. So it's like, it doesn't exist yet. They just put pictures of this. Same with all of his other stuff. Like, how is it allowed that this man is basically able to set up a gift shop at the White House and sell all of his trinkets and his grift? It drives me insane. But wait for it, here comes the even somehow dumber son. Eric has a lot to say as well.
Thing with Trump Mobile right now, I'm incredibly excited. You can build these phones in the United States. Our customer service is in the United States. It's in St. Louis, Missouri. We can add more functionality. We can do it cheaper. We can do it better. And eventually all the phones can be built in the United States of America. We have to bring manufacturing back here. And so our ethos is, build for Americans, by Americans, do it cheaper, do it better. Monthly plans, $47 a month, which we kind of thought was fun and cool. Unlimited calling, unlimited text, over 100 countries around the world. And when you actually pick up the phone, if you need to transfer a SIM card, if you need to do something, you speak to somebody in St. Louis, you speak to somebody in the United States of America, not in Bangladesh, where they're gonna take your information, sell it to a third party who will likely hack you. You're speaking to somebody in the United States of America. Our commemorative, phone right there, as you see, the T1 gold, a tribute to that escalator ride, a tribute to, clearly a color that's probably become synonymous with our family. We could not be more excited. So you can go on. I mean, literally right now, if you go to Trump Mobile, you can get TrumpMobile.com. You can get an eSIM card. You can convert your phone over, $47 a month, and work with all the biggest wireless providers in this country. No difference in terms of service whatsoever. In fact, better. And we couldn't be more proud.
Eventually, I think that's the most honest word they've ever said. Eventually the phone will maybe exist. Eventually maybe we'll be able to make it in the States. Eventually my dog will come in the first time I call him when it's time to come in from outside. I think we know none of this is ever going to happen, and it's just a grift. And the funniest part is it's only their own supporters that are getting got. Don Jr. in this clip just lies so much and just says so much crazy things that, you think that the average person would be like, oh, we see what you're doing. Not everything's the trans fault, At the end of the day, this isn't about tech. It's about turning a cult loyalty into cash. And that's their whole plan, is to convince everyone that their problems exist because of minorities. They blame their violence on others, and then they sell you a $500 burner phone so you can call your parole officer on the weekend. I just started this channel. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm having fun. Trying, so if you would like to help support me and reclaim my dog's good name, then like and subscribe.